Welcome to Studio 58A Live here at the Jamaica Information Service, our discussion program coming to you online across a whole heap of different platforms. Right now we have Facebook, we have YouTube, but we have plans to go some other places. But thank you so much for joining us and being here with us today. I am Vaughn Davis, but people got me the info boss.
The info boss of Vaughn Davis, you know. That is it.
I never mean say so. So the thing saying, all right, me are the info boss. Why me are the info boss? Because I know whole heap of things. Whole heap of things want to go under the government, and if me don't know, me know somebody will know. So me can get the information to give it to you. All right, people? That's exactly how the thing works. Thank you so much for joining in on our program today. Thank you so much from wherever you are around the world. Thank you for your eyes. Really, really, really appreciate it. We have a great show lined up for you today. Whole heap of things we're going to talk about. Big interview. We're going to be talking about the electronic traffic ticketing system, so stick around for that. But we'll get to a whole heap of other different subjects as we go. But people, I just want to share something with you real quick. It's like from the other day when I go outside, it might sound weird when I say it, but from I go outside, I feel like outside I look me. I don't know, but it's like the grass greener, the sky bluer, everything just nicer outside. I don't really know how I'm going. It's like outsiders tell me, say, Vaughn, come check me now. Check my man. Yeah, man. We need to spend some time together. And I think that means it's time for me go take a visit, go somewhere. Somewhere if we go rejuvenate myself and recharge my batteries, don't it? Sound like a plan, don't it? Now, for me, whenever I want to rejuvenate my batteries and take a trip, go somewhere, go rejuvenate and them something there. The place where I go, I don't even know if I must tell you, next thing I go and then go full up and I can't really get to enjoy myself like, I really want to enjoy myself, But, you know what? Never mind. The place where me go is Dunsborough Falls. I love climbing the falls. Me and my family try to do it at least once a year, every year. Great, thrilling, exhilarating experience. It's a fantastic thing. But that's just me. So talk to me in the comments now, people. Tell me what you like do. What you like go in a Jamaica? Where's your favorite place in a Jamaica for go, for rejuvenate yourself and recharge your batteries? Talk to me and tell me, man. Drop it in the comments. Let me know exactly what you like go, what you like do. Maybe you can bust me to somewhere where I never go yet. I can go and go enjoy myself and then, bring my family, tell more people and all of them something. So talk to me in the comments now, people. Let me know exactly where you like go. For enjoy food yourself whenever you need to just recharge the batteries and rejuvenate the energy and all of them something. All right? Talk to me in the comments. Well, people, you know how we always start the show. We're going to kick right on ahead and jump into top topics. Andre, the engineer, bring up my graphic, please, and thanks. All right. Oh, quick check in online. Emmanuel Mwak. I don't want to mispronounce your name, Emmanuel, but thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Emmanuel says, hi, I'm joining you from Arusha, Tanzania in East Africa near the highest Kilimanjaro mountain heights. Respect, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for jumping in and joining and really appreciate that. But all right, well, I don't know if you've been to Jamaica yet. Well, if you haven't, let me know. If you have, tell me which places you went to and where you like to enjoy yourself. But if not, tell me about Tanzania, no? Tell me how Tanzania stay. What are some of the places that you like to go? Maybe if I ever get the chance to come to Tanzania, tell me where exactly I can go and enjoy myself. You know what I mean? All right. But still, now it is time for our top topics, people. And we're joined today by our special guest, Melissa. She's going to be our sounding board. She's going to share her opinions on what's going on with what's going on in Jamaica today. So make people understand now. Melissa, thank you for being here. Welcome to the show.
It's an honor to be in the presence of the info boss.
The info boss of Vaughn Davis,
Vaughn Davis, the info boss.
All right.
And I'm just the trusty sidekick for today.
Works for me. I like it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
So what are our top topics for today, Vaughn?
All right, top topics for today. You know it go already. I mean, the gift that keeps on giving, the SSL situation, the alleged fraud that went into that, and the face of it obviously is Usain Bolt and how much money he lost and all of that. But the latest development, I don't want to sound too mixed up and say twist. I'm not going to say twist. The latest development in the situation is that the FSC, which is our Financial Services Commission, is decided. Well, actually, the Minister of Finance announced that they're going to be implementing a new kind of model. I mean, everybody said the big question, of course, is how this
could have happened
over such
many
a long
years,
period,
and no one seem to know.
Nobody seemed to catch it. So everybody's just wondering what's going on with that. So as part of the new, as them say, you mustn't waste a good crisis. So unfortunate that Usain Bolt had to go through this, but at least it is now the good situation is that greater oversight on our local financial sector. And part of that is a new regulatory model called the Twin Peaks model. And what that's going to do, is, according to the story that I read, is that this will see the new dispensation will see the prudential mandate of the Financial Services Commission with respect to non-deposit taking financial sector will be taken over by the Bank of Jamaica. So that means that the Bank of Jamaica is going to have greater oversight.
Right.
And I guess the elements to make sure that we're protecting the customers and looking after them and taking care of the money and all these things. So what you say it happening?
Always good though to have proper oversight. The right persons or the right entities it's checks and balances, I think. Mm-hmm. So as you said, Twin Peaks, it's no longer one set of persons just looking and then nobody else gets to say anything or to say, hey, in case you missed that, let's look back at that. Mm-hmm. So with them making the changes now with the FSC, it's going to work. I think it's going to make it a bit more stringent. If somebody miss it, somebody else will catch it.
Exactly.
We're double checking. And that's always a good thing.
It's always good to have an external person who oversees exactly what's going on. Somebody who don't actively involved in your day-to-day, so them can step back from a distance and say, but hold on, that don't look right, that don't look
check
like.
That again.
Yeah, the match, they want to match up a little bit more than that because it look like something not right.
The 1 + 1 not giving us, not 11 really.
At the end of the day, all the rest of us can do is hope it works because in truth and in fact, we all want to make sure so when we put our money in these different institutions, our money is being watched over, protected, and these people are going to do what they say they're going to do.
What we're asking them to do with our money. And when we need it, most importantly, when we want it, we can do what?
Exactly. Withdraw and go spend and bruff and all these different things.
Which is right.
I can't be that when I check my bank balance, I see 1 or 2 less zero. Because anyway, we're not going to talk about what that would do for me. But all right, on to the next topic, which is a really, really big one, is that some steps have been taken to change the status of security guards across the island. This one, that one deserve a round of applause. Let me see if my sound effects. Don't let me down. Don't
Infoboss.
No, not the Infoboss.
It's not the Infoboss this time.
No, we have to make sure so we give a round of applause for that one. Big round of applause to this one because what this one essentially is going to do is that it's going to make security guards no longer considered independent contractors. They're now going to be considered employees.
Yes.
Employees. I mean, some would love to be employers, but hey, you have to take levels to this thing. Step by step, right? Mm-hmm. So there are now employees, which entitles them to so many more things. You have your NIS benefits, they'll pay taxes and get statutory deductions, they're eligible for health insurance and a whole host of other things that will make their lives better. I mean, I used to reason with some security guys and may I tell you, you're rough.
And that's the thing though, because if you think about it, every industry, every sector, every business, every space
you pass a security guard for going there every day.
From what they do.
Exactly.
And it's usually hard to hear, but we really don't get this or maybe we don't get that. So this venture, this initiative is really going to see them being in a spot where, it looks better for them. There might be more to carry home to the families. You have more benefits. Going to the doctor might not be so hard, stuff like that. So it's a welcome change. I believe it would be a welcome change.
Absolutely. I mean, just reasoning with some of them and telling you how many in some days where if you miss a day of work, you don't get paid for that day. So if you're sick, you're really sick and you don't even feel well, you can't. Some have to choose between their health and well-being and earning a dollar. And that can't right.
And it's costing them both ways. If you think about it, you have to pay to go to the doctor, plus you're losing money for that day.
Exactly. And then even if you feel well, you don't feel well, you want to lie down and just get some rest, some basic rest so you can actually do your job better and secure the property that you are a part of.
Yes. And for the hours they work though, Vaughn, because sometimes they double up a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a welcome change.
It's a welcome change. I'm really looking to see, and what the good thing about what the government did is that the government is changing its approach with its relationships or its contracts with the different security companies, and they're kind of not so subtly nudging the private sector to follow suit. So what they're saying is that any company that isn't too interested in upgrading the status of the security guards, we're just not going to do business with you. The government is the biggest seeker or payer for services in the country. So if they make a statement like that, it is a big deal. So that's a big move. Really appreciate that. So that one there, like again,
we like to see it.
That can get a round of applause for that one. And the last topic we're going to jump to real quick in the top topic segment is the Ministry of Education and Youth is seeking feedback from stakeholders. That's your parents, your teachers, your everybody
Guardians,
involved
everybody.
Right. They're trying to regarding a potential change of date for the PEP exam. That's the grade 4 primary exit profile examination. All right. The PEP exam is currently scheduled on the ministry's calendar for Wednesday, June 28 and Thursday, June 29. But they recently had a session with stakeholders and parents and so on, which some people said having the exam that late is not necessarily so good for the children. So no, rather than just making a big decision and just changing it all together at one time, they're putting it out to members of the public, right, so that we can get some feedback. And parents, teachers, vice principals, school administrators, grade coordinators, everybody, they have the chance to access a survey that the ministry has put up to share their opinions. All right. You can get that survey at SAU registration at moey.gov.jm. All right.
That's SAU registration.
Right.
At moey.gov.jm.
Repetition is the key to learning.
It is. That's how we learn.
All right. Some participants are asked to complete and submit these surveys no later than Friday, January 27, which is tomorrow. So we don't exactly have a whole heap of time, people. See if you can jump on that. If you have a child or a child that's going to be sitting the grade 4 PEP exam and you have a concern, or maybe you don't think things need to change, maybe you think everything is fine, then you can drop that in and jump on the survey, share your opinion, and we can take that as part of the whole discussion, so that when the time comes to make a decision, you can say that you assisted the process. Because you don't, next thing you're upset with a change, it gets changed and you never like it, but you never say nothing. So
yeah. And also people should share it with other parents that might not necessarily be aware that there is a survey that they can give their opinion. So share it out as well once you go on. It can't take that long, probably a couple of minutes, just asking you why you think it shouldn't be that late.
Exactly.
Some persons might not mind though, because it gives the children a bit more time to prepare.
Yeah,
and which means they're going into grade 5 in a better standing to do the 5 and 6 PEP to get to high school. So some people might not mind. But that's really why everybody should go in and just justify, okay, if you think it should still be the end of June right before they go on holidays, work with it. If not, then say why you think it needs to be earlier.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's arguments for both sides. I mean, some people might say, well, no, we like it early, just get it out of the way as soon as possible. They're already under so much stress and that kind of thing. So let's see if we can move it up early so that at least they can enjoy the rest of the academic. I mean, there's arguments for both sides.
Both sides. That's
true.
There
really are. But like I said, that's up to you guys, you parents, the parents, primary level school administrators, principals, vice principals, grade coordinators, assessment coordinators, teachers, so on, everybody else who has an interest in grade 4 PEP exam, jump into the survey. That's SAU registration at moey.gov.jm.
And a little later on, we'll probably just put that link, that URL in our chat, and then you can copy and paste it from there, or you can access it from any of the chats, Facebook, YouTube, wherever we are today.
Jump in there, see if you can just jump and participate in the survey so that we can make a good informed decision about our children. And we know this is a serious one, because not just the children them do PEP, all right?
Exactly.
The parents
do PEP too. And we're still recovering from the 2 years of COVID.
Exactly.
So
now go and say this no matter. It's actually a big deal. Most of you parents who already lose sleep over PEP, we don't want this to be a situation where you got the exam change and you never prepared, or you never ready, or you feel whatever. All right, you know what I mean? Jump in there, let your opinions be heard, let a decision be made in an informed way. All right, people. All right, that's how we're going to close out top topics for now. Thank you for listening to that. And we're going to jump right into people business next. Andre. Nature for wildlife and the beautiful life with all kind of people from all around the world.
Wildlife. What wildlife?
Wildlife, lion and zebra.
That's what I'm thinking, though.
Yeah, man, you have to be one with nature, really appreciate that. I want to go Tanzania and see if I can see the lion them from a very far distance.
Very far.
Like I want the in the building behind a glass enclosure, something like that.
On a high floor.
Right, with the binoculars, I look on and I said, what's a lion there?
So cute.
king of the jungle. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, all right. You know what I mean? So we have beautiful waterfalls and lakes to swim and rivers, and we also have much more to offer in all aspects of positive life. Well, Emmanuel, like the vibe. Sound like things are going over Tanzania. Hopefully I get the chance to come visit there one of these days. It would be great.
Africa has been known, well, people always say it's a beautiful place, so. But he should come to Jamaica.
Yes, Emmanuel. If you get the chance, you should come to Jamaica. Cause we have similar things going on over here. I mean, them say Jamaica always are keeping. You know what I mean? We have really exciting things. Sure. We have the nature, we have culture, we have so many other things.
The people.
The people. Google it. You won't be disappointed. All right? Emmanuel also said, if you heard about the 7 wonders of the world, here we have the Serengeti National Park, Ngoro. You see, Emmanuel, I really don't want to disrespect your country and your culture, so I'm not going to try and pronounce these things in a terrible way, all right? But there's a very nice crater and the other beautiful natural parks, and you can enjoy game drive for your holidays. All right, Emmanuel, you have already convinced me. I would love to go if I get the chance. We're going to see if we can put that on the bucket list. All right. But we're here to talk about people business. Yes, people business. And that we like to talk. Don't we like to talk about people? We like to chat people business, don't we?
Sometimes.
No, boy, I love chat people business, yeah, man. Wally pop things always are going. People business always nice for talk, boy.
It's always businessing.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, in this segment, we try and combat the notion that nothing not go on in Jamaica. People always say, we need more of this, and we need more of that, and more of this need for go on, and need for have more course for the people, them, and so on and so forth. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on in the country. All right, people? Right away, we have a total of 300 young people are being targeted for training in coding, as computer coding, under the Technology Advancement Program TAP 3. Applications are now open for the 1-year training initiative, which is being implemented by the Universal Service Fund in collaboration with the Amber Group and Heart NSTA Trust. The University of Technology, through its Faculty of Technology and Computing, will also be collaborating on the initiative, providing facilities to accommodate the participants and campuses across the island. So it's not just in town.
Very nice.
It's right across the island. And this is training in computer coding, people. This is the way of the future. True. You're probably watching this on your phone right now. You are able to do that.
Very true, because somebody sit down and
write a code or codes or whatever that put the social media things together, put the apps together, put your smartphone together, put everything together.
That's true.
All right. So
here's a good thing about it, though, Vaughn. People are often saying, we don't know exactly what the kids are going to do when they leave high school. What are they going to get into? Not everybody can do the university. Well, you have an option. And Heart is a big pusher for that. Learn something that you're good at. They might not like a lot of the academic stuff, but strangely enough, some of them are very good at things to do with computers.
Yeah, exactly. But the great thing about this coding initiative as well is the fact that you can, once you develop the skill in coding and that kind of thing, you can create your own opportunity. You can build your own app. You can find a company and market yourself and say, I can build an app for you. I can build whatever kind of technological advancement. I can do it for you. And right at this point, the way the world is going right now, technology is part and parcel of everything. Key
right? To every form of advancement.
All right. So if you are interested in IT, like I said, 300 young people, 300 a whole heap,
And then with UTech being on board, it just spreads it out. As I said, it's across the island now, so you no longer have to just try to find a way to get to Kingston or anywhere this side. There are campuses across the island where people can access this training.
All right.
That's a big deal.
An especially good thing about this is that graduates who wish to matriculate to a tertiary institution to pursue an information and communications technology degree program have the opportunity to be fully or partially financed by the USF. That's Universal Service Fund. All right. So if you go through this program, people, you successfully complete the program and you say, boy, I like this, I feel like I can go study this at university or college or whatever the case may be. The Universal Service Fund is willing to provide fully or partially financed scholarships. All right. Wow. You can't tell me say nothing not go on. You can't tell me say you're interested for do computer, IT or whatever, and you say, boy, I wish me would have an opportunity, wish something would have come. See, let me just tell you one. Just drop in your lap right away.
Scholarship.
You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that word too often, people. That is the biggest cry of our people in Jamaica, that they don't
can't
necessarily
afford.
have the funds
Yes.
or the opportunity to go and study at the tertiary level.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you can complete things up to high school level, but the tertiary level is where we tend to fall off. But now this is an opportunity for you to go and study at the university level after completing a 12-month program in coding, which is one of the most integral skills now. You know what I mean? So people take advantage of this opportunity. All right. Jump on I'd say just look up the Technology Advancement Program, TAP 3 program. Google it. It's all online.
It's all online.
You'll
It
find
will
all
come
the
up.
information you need to apply. And like I said,
Somebody
300.
did the coding, Vaughn.
Exactly. Somebody did the coding. Somebody created a website or web page that you can go on. You know what I'm saying? So jump on, Google, find it out, learn, do what you need to do, take advantage of this program.
Apply.
300 people are getting scholarships. 300. I will. 300 people are there
Getting
looking for
training.
it. So in getting training in the Technology Advancement Program. All right? So take advantage of it, people. All right? People business. So we don't chat people business, though?
For now. For
All right.
today.
We're not about to chat no more people business for the time being. All right? Okay. All right. Andre, the engineer, roll our next graphic because we're going to head straight into the arts page.
Ooh.
But just because...
Vaughn Davis, the info boss.
All right. I just felt like playing that graphic.
Just
because,
needed to remind the
I
people.
mean, everybody do have their own personal graphic. I thought about
okay.
them, so I have to just play it.
You
for
just had
shout
to remind
myself.
them.
I'll play it one more time because I just like how it sounds, you know. And then
Vaughn Davis, the info boss.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We feel good, yeah. And then
It works.
we play this one, yeah.
The info boss of Vaughn Davis, you know. That is it.
All right, people. Thank you again for sticking around with us. Okay, we're now in the segment called Arts Page, where we talk about the different artistic endeavors going on in the country. We shout out people and give people an opportunity to tell us what kind of artistic endeavors they're practicing, anything that's major on the artistic or cultural or creative side of the world. That's what we take some time to talk about in this segment. All right, people. And for what we're going to talk about today is something I came across online. I think it's really, really outstanding. It's really amazing. And I just find it so... I had to shout it out because I think it's such a big deal. All right. The National Museum of Jamaica is organizing something that they call a touch tour, which engages persons who are visually impaired.
Oh, wow.
So that they bring in persons and they are able to come and interact with art. So who says blind people can't enjoy art? I mean, obviously most persons would already just dismiss that idea outright and say, boy, nothing like that could ever happen. But the National Gallery is organizing something called a touch tour.
That's a big deal, though.
They bring them in and they allow them to interact with the art through the sensory, through the sense of touch.
It's
fantastic.
It is.
And, you know, if persons want to book their experience, they can call 876-992-0620 or 876-589-3191. Or you can also send an email to outreach@museums-ioj.org.jm. All right, people. But you can also jump on their social media pages. That's the @National Museum Jamaica. @National Museum Jamaica, and you will see the graphic, the post that they've put up talking about the touch tours and basically how they're allowing persons who are visually impaired to interact with art. I think that's fantastic. I think, you know what I mean?
It's an inclusive move,
Exactly.
which is good. We've had a lot of conversations about inclusivity recently and the persons in that community. So for them to now be able to enjoy art in this way,
Exactly.
as you said, it's a really big deal.
I think it will also encourage a lot more persons, especially in the community of persons who are visually impaired or in persons in the community of persons with disabilities, etc., to come and actually be active participants in the arts, in the creative and cultural industry.
They may have felt excluded before, but this
Exactly.
is opening a door.
This is really something impressive, and I have to say kudos to the management and administration of the National Gallery. I think this is a really great move,
Initiative.
and I really have to big you
Wonderful.
guys up because I'm sure persons in the
Go on to
community
the
will
day.
definitely. Yeah, you're right. They deserve a round of applause. We're going to give them one right now. Let's cheer and clap for them.
Cheers too. Wow.
They deserve a
They do deserve it.
special big up for that. All right, and also remember people that the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, that's the JCDC, is once again accepting entries for large groups of more than 10 people for its performing arts competition. We all know JCDC. We grew up in a
Festival
primary school, prep
time.
school, all of that. The children do the drama, dance, music,
Drums.
traditional folk forms,
yes.
speech, all of that. You know what I'm saying? JCDC is accepting applications now, and whereas because of COVID they had restricted things and kept like single individual people, that
right,
kind of
small
thing.
numbers.
Now they're opening things back up now to large groups, which is groups of like 10 or more. And what they especially want people to understand, Melissa, which is really great, is that it's not just for the schools. I mean, it's primary schools most of the time we hear JC, that's what we normally think. But what they're saying is that community groups can enter. Churches can enter.
Awesome.
Different groups can enter so that they can also participate and be a part of the whole cultural and creative industry. You know what I mean?
I think it's so amazing the way in which the work of the JCDC just preserves the culture.
Absolutely.
Through all the different art forms. And I think it should be known, it should be pushed that yes, let all the other groups, not just the schools, not the tiny ones doing the ring ding and the maypoles, but community groups, as you said, and churches, and everybody really should just get involved. It's a wonderful experience.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, I was seeing if I had a website. I don't think I have one here on this paper, but it's JCDC, Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. You can Google them, look them up on the different social media platforms, Google, Instagram.
They're on social
Facebook,
media.
they're
everywhere.
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You can't miss them because every year for festival and so on, especially when we're having the festival song competition.
Oh, wow.
They load up all entries and so on the pages so that you can see and be a part of it and appreciate it. And I especially want more persons coming out of COVID take advantage of this. Man, know enough how they did their home, and some of the song them when they did right, and some of the different poem them and the different thing them when they did that practice because they never have nothing else to do.
Outside wasn't keeping.
Exactly. Outside never did I keep. So I know enough how to have that one poem the way I am John. John is a man. Them kind of stuff. Yeah, we don't want to have them put on.
In Jamaica, the number one.
Exactly. We want to have them put on. So we would like you to come in and enter. Show some. We want to preserve our culture and heritage, and we want more persons to jump in and be a part of the program. All right. We want more persons to be a part of things. We want people to start more deep because we like complain, so we don't like the song them.
True, but
we
are we
like
entering songs?
What are we doing to counteract that? Provide let me not say counteract. Provide an alternative. All right. You might say, "Boy, me an artist, me an a poet." I think we all have a creative side. I think we all have something that we can tap into.
Hey, you can play the drum. You can play the tambourine. We don't know.
Exactly.
It's creative. It's
art. And the worst thing, social media, especially TikTok, has proven to me that enough of uno out there far more creative than like giving yourself credit
and
for.
Can dance more than they ever thought they could.
Exactly. Take advantage of the different things that are there and they are available.
True.
While I'm at it, just if you want to, you should definitely go and check out the Institute of Jamaica and the National Gallery. These are where we get to see and celebrate our homegrown talents. You know what I mean? Go take a visit. I think they have a special day at the end of every week. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but they have like access, or they will allow you to be able to come at the end of the month or something like that, and you'll be able to, I don't know if it's view the exhibits for free. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
But they can always go to their websites and check it out, or check the social media pages because they really do promote. So they can always look it up. And again, as you were saying at the top of the show, it's just something else for people to do. You like to go to the falls. Some people like art. That's how they regenerate and rejuvenate and just chill. So that's an option.
All right, people. And that's how we're going to close out the arts page today. And that's how we're going to say goodbye to Melissa. Thanks for jumping in and being a part of the conversation and just being here with us.
Thank you, InfoBoss.
Yes.
It was my pleasure.
All right. So we're going to bring in our Andre, the engineer, roll the graphic for our big interview. All right.
Studio 58A. Studio 58A. Studio 58A.
Big interview.
Studio 58A. 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 Studio 58A.
This is time for our big interview segment. You know, we always try our best to give you the most current and relevant information so that you can benefit whenever we disseminate this information and we'll do our best on your behalf. Now, time is really the master item. Once upon a time, I used to wonder if there would ever come a time in Jamaica where the traffic ticket system would get itself organized and efficient so we could help eliminate indiscipline on the roads. I, like most Jamaicans, had plenty reason to be cynical, because when you hear people could rack up as much as 100 and 200 tickets and still be on the road, you have to wonder what is going on. Well, fast forward to today and we have a new system in place underpinned by technology that will make our traffic ticket system hold people accountable in the way that it was meant to. The new system will see officers able to dispense tickets at the click of a few buttons. But more importantly, the system is now much better integrated on the back end to allow for better monitoring of people's driving record and better policing of driving on the road. Now, here today to tell us more are Mr. Emil Holgate, Senior Director of the Major Technology Transformation Branch at the Ministry of National Security and Head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, ACB McKenzie. Welcome to the both of you. Thank you for being here on the program today.
Thank you.
All right, let me just start with you, Emil. Now, the advantages, let's just go straight into the advantages of this new system. As we had mentioned before, a lot of the time, the biggest challenge we had, it seemed like, people can just rack up these tickets, but it seemed like with this new system in place now, a lot more integration to make the system work in a much more efficient way. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, man, definitely. So with the new e-ticketing system, what you'll find is that officers are able to more efficiently generate their tickets. In very simple terms, they're using a mobile application, input the information and the print from the handheld printer. What it also means is that because it is directly linked to the respective databases, everybody in the ecosystem now has access to that ticket once it is entered. So you can go and actually pay it at TJ right away. One of the reasons why persons would claim that they didn't pay the ticket, that they simply forgot, and sometimes there is a wait period. Mm-hmm. So now persons can pay right away. So there is really no excuse not to pay it as you get it. Really, we don't want persons to get. We want persons to realize that there needs to be a change in behavior on our roadways. And secondly, the ticket makes its way all the way to the it's available by the courts as well. So if you forget and a ticket makes its way to the court, they'll have access to it right away, and once you make your way there, they'll be able to find it, bring it up, and settle the matter faster. And if you fail to do that, they'll also be able to generate warrants. So that the officers, Mr. McKenzie and his team, they can come out and take it to court by will or force, so to say. So that will bring about, so we will reduce the number of persons, as I say, racking up 100, 200 tickets just by allowing for the system to assist in that process.
Now, ACB McKenzie, from your perspective, and how does this change life for the police out when they're out there doing their work and interacting with the public and trying to make sure that people do what they're supposed to do on the road?
Changes are significant, and we are very happy for this particular development. As was said before, one is that it makes the police officer more efficient when they stop citizens. It is a fast-moving environment. Right. And certainly we really do not want to inconvenience persons, even though they might have been suspected of committing an offense. So the paper-based ticket that we usually use that could last up to 10 minutes to write a ticket. This device, pretty much within 2 minutes or so, a ticket is written because the information is already pre-populated. The other major advantage is that it helps the officer to ascertain that the information they have is correct in terms of who is in front of them, the vehicle that they are treating with, and so on. It also aids in the selecting proper offenses, and of course it can aid investigations around identification of vehicles and so on.
So, Emil, tell me, give me the backstory on this program. How long did it take you guys to put this thing in place, and how is the integration going at this moment? How are we rolling out the system, and is it doing what you expect it to do, and is it functioning as expected and as liked or as wanted?
Definitely. So as far as 2021, we had a bit of consultation with the JCF looking at the manual ticketing system and all the issues with that. We, working with the JCF eGov Jamaica, we developed the e-ticketing system. That solution is really the background, and as well as a SmartTech application. We piloted that the first part of 2022, January to March thereabout. We deployed about 70 devices. To put into perspective, during the pilot phase, we across the entire corporate area, we issued about 51,000 tickets. About 14,000 of those were issued by those 70 devices. It puts into perspective the efficiency.
The whole heap.
Yes, man, just by 70 devices. So we analyzed some more, and then we made the decision that this, in fact, as ACP mentioned, brought about greater efficiency. At the end of the year, of the 720,000 tickets issued by the JCF, 65,000 of those were e-tickets by only 70 devices. The JCF now have 700, almost 800. So when you look on the numbers, we can expect great things.
Expect great things indeed. You know what I'm saying? I know that, well, before I even get there, now ACP being able to, having this system, I think is really a game changer, in the sense that now that you are able to look at, and not just, you see the offense are happening, you bring the person over, you can get them a ticket, but the ability to get a whole sense of their driving record, and who, not even, what kind of driver you have in front of you. Not just a person, you stop this person or they make one offense, but it's like, what kind of driver? Talk to me about that, because I'm stressing it because I know under the previous system, I know the police would have had, many other challenges in being able to just, one, size up person is, what kind of driver is, if there has any warrants outstanding, etc., etc. But now being able to look with the system, how do you truly see and be able to see the system, or see our police officers moving, or their behavior and their whole attitude towards traffic enforcement going forward?
Well, this is very important because, as you said, once you stop a person and you input their driver's license number, then you are able to get that information. And I was on another program, and the discussion was being had about discretion and how the police operates with the citizen. And of course, we have now a lot of repeated offenders for various offenses. So that informs the kind of action that the police officer may take at a given time when they stop a particular motorist. Also, it may spur on the officer to other investigations, depending on the type of offenses that have been highlighted.
All right, so there that people, if you're out there now, another reason to clean up your act, if when Mr. McKenzie pull you over and him get to understand, say, not only did you run the red light or whatever, but did you have a habit of driving fast in a school zone, or you have a habit of other kind of things, So it's like, hey, this allows you to get a better picture of the person in front of you, which I suspect can only be a positive for just overall policing across the island. So I guess kudos to you guys for being able to introduce this kind of thing now, to help take the force into the next, the new generation, that kind of thing. We'd love to see that kind of transformation happening. I know that there are persons having some issues now in terms of, because that there was a bit of a grace period, so to speak, in the way that tickets between 2018 and 2022 are going to be expunged. But, I don't necessarily want to go say the wrong thing. I don't know if you can shed some light on that.
All right, sure. So one of the policy direction is that the tickets issued before February 1, 2018, those will at some point be rendered null and void. For tickets issued between the period February 1, 2018 to current, the reprieve will see persons benefiting from their demerit points being expunged. What this simply means that under the new act which comes into effect February 1, they will not carry over any demerit points. Simply, you won't lose your license. So that is the benefit to the public. However, following February 1, though, once demerit points are accrued, then the Island Traffic Authority, they will move to have licenses suspended accordingly. So that's a benefit. Well, I don't want to call it benefit, but that is what is being activated now in terms of the persons treating with their matters before the 31st of January.
All right, and I suspect, well, there are persons who are saying they might be having some difficulties paying. Well, that's the truth. When in going out there and interacting with people, what they're saying is they might be having some difficulties to be able to just pay, because they feel like I should just be able to pay and done, and then that be the end of it. But so
once a ticket is issued, you have the opportunity a couple of weeks to pay for that ticket. If that time passes, then you are transferred to the jurisdiction of the court. So this activity in and of itself is keeping true to that once you have failed to pay, then you must surrender yourself to the court.
Okay.
A part of it is just to try and engender the behavior change. We want persons to appreciate that once you get a ticket, treat with them in the time
as soon as possible, so you avoid necessarily going to court. People, because the general consensus is that we should just be, if you're going to remove the demerit points and so on, essentially, let's start with a brand new slate. I should just be able to pay one time. Which is what you're saying, you want persons to as the part of the behavior change process.
Right. And it's not about, and what we're trying to underpin is that it's not about revenue collection or collecting money. So you haven't heard any of the stakeholders speak about collecting money. We want persons to understand that once you breach the act, there are indeed consequences.
All right, so you hear that, people. Still, you have to make the effort. It's just going to require some effort on you, but the overall goal is to ensure that the behavior change accompanies this new dispensation. All right, so ACB McKenzie, we know the new Road Traffic Act gets into place in February. Are you guys ready? You're ready to discharge your mandate with this increased or enhanced level of supervisory or regulatory authority? Because you guys know you have a lot more. The focus is now on you guys to ensure that the road clean up and look like how it's supposed to look. How are you ready? How are you feeling?
Well, we are feeling elated of quite a bit of the changes. Have been saying that quite a bit of the changes are going to work with support systems, and we believe that all of that is coming into place. Of course, improve signage and so on. That will make a difference in terms of how much we can do to curb behavior. We have been sensitizing our people, and we believe that we are ready.
Yeah, all right, you hear that, people. ACP say I'm ready. I suspect you have transmitted that to the different members of staff and persons all across the country, so they know that it's a new dispensation. So, what do you? With this new Road Traffic Act, we've been asking for it for quite some time. Members of the public, me, because we see the indiscipline on the road, and it is truly, it's one of the most frustrating exercises to drive on the road. So when you get out there and under the new Road Traffic Act and things start afresh, so to speak, what would you like? What is the best gift these people can, the motoring public can give you out there when you go out there to enforce and discharge your duties?
Well, I believe, my apologies.
Yes.
I believe that the best gift is for persons to conform with the new road traffic laws. And I really want to mention one or two
yes,
for
that's
emphasis.
Exactly right.
So the use of cell phones. I believe that we should be getting into the habit of using our hands-free. Because if you are seen with a cell phone, whether or not you are speaking, then that becomes an offense. The use of visual in the motor vehicle, watching movies and things like that has to be a thing of the past. Now, one of the practices that we have become used to is the use of dark tints. that will not be the order of the day, because we will have tint meters out there. Because we have to detect these offences, and one of the things we have to do is to be able to have reasonable view. And so those measurement tools will be working. So it's about conformity. As Mr. Holgate has just said, we have not been emphasizing on fines, because if you do not commit the offences, you should not be worrying about the fine at all. This is about saving lives consistently. Over the past 3 years, we have close to 500 persons losing their lives on the roads. So it's really about that. It's about keeping all of us safe. So we're really, the best gift is conformity.
All right. And especially, I love one of the new initiatives, or as part of this new initiative, is that you have the new portal through which persons can see their driving record. Talk to me about that, and you know, what's behind that that thrust.
Sure. So as we came into this round of activities, we thought it important to give persons the information that they will need for persons to understand that when an officer stops you, you know, they also have this information. That has helped us quite a bit in terms of persons trying to clear their matters. They can go to the website, and that's just for information, trafficticketlookup.gov.jm.
Wait, say that again.
Trafficticketlookup.gov.jm.
Right.
Where once they enter the information on the license, they will see all their tickets, those paid and those unpaid, and importantly, where it is that you need to go to treat with those matters. That has helped us in terms of streamlining where persons should go once they wish to clear up matters. It has been well received, and we're seeing the impact on the courts, and again, just a moment just to say, once you go to the court, be mindful that because of the rush, you may be asked to return at some point, but just have a conversation with the persons there, and they will try to facilitate as best as possible.
Right. That in truth, I personally have received I wouldn't say complaint, but personally are saying that they feel like they go to start things out and they just get a number or something to be told, we'll call you, we tell you to come back. So they're still worried, especially if being told to come back, and then February 1 comes, and then they feel like they're still in a limbo. If you understand what I mean, can you provide some assurance or reassurance where that is concerned?
Well, the court, they have given those persons instructions, and then what I can say is just abide by those instructions. So if you're told to return on a date, return on a date. All
right. Well, Mr. McKenzie, because I don't want to feel like if I went to pay, and then the court told me to come back, and then February 1 comes, and then you check the system and see I have 2 or 3 outstanding tickets, but like I went to pay them, but it told me to come back. So I hope you don't hold my previous things. You know, I would imagine you said they're going to, do away with the things from 2018 to 2022, but so, just want some assurances that you're not necessarily going to be looking at those older, older, charges or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean?
Can say it just abide by the instructions of the court. If they say return by a date, ensure that you return on that date. At that point, you are within the jurisdiction of the court. And Sir McKenzie and his team, they will act based on the instructions of the court once the matter has moved to the court.
All right, there you have it, people. Do your best. Essentially, do your best. All right, just do your best. Try see if you can sort the situation out as soon as possible, and everything should be fine. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of a hassle, because everybody's converging on the system right now to pay right before the deadline. Unfortunately, we are dead. Jamaicans, we like to do a last minute kind of thing. Unfortunately, it's pretty sad. But the situation is you have to just abide by work with the system as they have it now. As they said, the goal is not funds collection, it's not revenue generation, it's behavior change. So part and parcel of the process, you have to go to the court, you have to go through the process, you have to do what you need to do. And then once you do that, then you'll be able to go into the new dispensation with a clean driving record. And let's hope that you maintain that driving record. I don't make Mr. McKenzie have to get too stressed out. But, Mr. I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to stick up in ACP. And, well, I'm not really like, but I have to say, taximen. Taximen provide some of the greatest challenges, and I think most persons would like to see that we are holding our, we know they're necessary and they provide a service that is very important across the country. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody would disagree that the taxi men tend to occupy the greater share of the persons disobeying the road rules and so on and so forth. And, I guess I just want to talk to you about, talk to us, tell us what we should, how confident we should be that there will be increased efforts to make sure that everybody, including our public passenger operated vehicles, abide by the rules of the road.
Sorry. So let me say firstly that when we look at the persons that have the largest number of outstanding tickets, they are actually people who drive public passenger vehicles. I think that the public has made the most outcry as it relates to these persons. If they continue to drive in that manner, it will continue to be so. But this time around, it will be different because the merit point system is going to catch them. And so previously, where licenses were not being suspended, now they will be. So we will not have people having up to 1,000 traffic tickets outstanding.
Right.
That will be different.
Those days should be in the rear view mirror.
So person's license will be suspended, and the courts, we expect that the courts will issue warrants for us to execute.
All right, they hear that. I mean, as we say, taxi men, PPV operators, we respect you, we appreciate you, provide a valuable service, but we not have to do better.
So just to put it in the context, though, so for your license to be suspended for say 6 months, it only takes 10 demerit points. A seatbelt tickets to disobeying the red light is all a 6. So you can see easily how somebody who used to get tickets by the day,
right,
they will lose their license, and it's an offence, as you know, once you operate a vehicle when it is suspended, which will add or further compound the problem. So with the demerit system coming on stream February 1, that's one of the main things that we believe will bring about the conformity on the roadways.
So is it that the system is essentially in operation now, or do you have a launch date, so to speak?
It is in operation. So to add some background to the demerit issue, under the 1938 Act, only the courts had explicit authority to suspend licenses. Under the 2018 Act, however, the Island Traffic Authority now has the power to suspend licenses. So the mechanism was always there, but because of a limitation in the legislation, it was never been done. So the system is already there. So you can imagine that the team from IT they're standing by, getting ready, waiting to go.
All right, see it there, people. I tell you, new day, brand new day. One of the things that you mentioned, the advantage is that we can now pay at the same time. As you say, you get the ticket, you can pay at the same time. Talk to us about that.
Right away. So because it is linked directly to the TAJ database as well. As soon as, and I challenge motorists to try, as soon as the officer prints the ticket and gives to you, you can go on the TAJ website, log in, put in the information, and you'll be able to pay right away. It is that instantaneous.
I think that's definitely a great thing, as most persons, taking the time out for go to the tax office and do the whole thing. Believe me, it can be a issue. Not that I know too much about that, gentlemen. I don't know much about that at all. Yeah, but all right. No, as I have you here, Mr. Holgate, talk to me about. I mean, it seems like with these, because we see a lot more. If I would say with Jamaica, with so many things, like there's a lot more thrust to provide our police with the technology that they need to be able to execute their jobs better. And this is just a demonstration of what that is. But talk to me about the overall thrust, or where you guys are looking, or what any things that you can talk about coming down the pipeline now that we're definitely working to make our national security infrastructure much, much better, more reliable, more efficient, etc., etc., etc.
I think you said it. So it is in pursuit of just greater efficiency and ensuring that the officers have the tools that they need to deliver the service that we all expect. So to answer your question as best as I can, there are essentially no limitations with respect to technology that we aren't already in the process of implementing or already exploring. We're talking about from digitizing station records, allowing officers in the station to accept reports using computers, to some other things on the back end that I can't really talk about. But the big goal is to leverage technology as a workforce enabler and multiplier to deliver greater service to the public.
All right, I guess as we kind of move to bring things down, I'm just going to give each of you the last word. ACB McKenzie, talk to the people that let them know that February is a different thing. And the road, you guys are very motivated to go and discharge your duties once this new display. And the fun thing about it is the how intense or how active you guys are on the road is fully dependent on the people, It's how them drive, it's how them behave, it's how they do what they do will determine your response, inevitably. So let the people know, just give them your final word as to when this new dispensation begins in February, what they can expect from you.
Well, as we have been saying, we have been preparing. One of the things about the new Road Traffic Act and regulations is that they have quite a bit of changes, substantial changes, which we welcome. And come February the 1st, there will be no grace period, really. This act is now going into its 5th year in terms of when it was passed. And so a kind of zero tolerance approach is what we expect to give in. We can't sit around and allow the kind of driving. In essence, we are really killing ourselves on the roadways. And so it is our responsibility as law enforcement to treat with that. And that is a part of doing that. A major part is enforcing the road traffic laws and regulations. And that we will do. And, we are very happy as a police force that our authorities, our leaders have sought to give us the tools. And increasingly, we have breathalyzer tools, we have tint meters, we have decibel meters, we have various other tools that we are going to roll out in a very big way to ensure that, things go right on the roadways.
And over to you, Mr. Holgate. Let's just get persons to appreciate the overall mindset that you guys have as it relates to making sure that we have the tools we need to effectively police and provide the kind of safety and security that all of us want for ourselves.
So as ACP mentioned, the ministry has continued to make substantial investment in technology as well as other facilities for the JSF in terms of infrastructure, mobility, etc. However, we're not necessarily looking for a high return on the investment. We are okay if we give 750 devices and we're not issuing any tickets, because it would then mean that there has been a substantial change in how persons behave on the road. So, though we continue to provide the tools, we ultimately expect that persons will respond in a positive way, and to basically allow Mr. McKenzie and his team just to be out there doing I don't want to say doing beat, but not being needed to enforce as much. So that's our ultimate goal.
All right, people, there you have it. I mean, it's a new dispensation, but the truth of the matter is it depends on you. I mean, how hard you go depends. There's a direct relation to how hard ACP McKenzie and his team will go. You decide to go hard and disobey the rules of the road. What you expect for? You expect Mr. McKenzie for just sit down and twiddle him thumbs and just leave you alone? Him have a whole job to do, and him have all these other persons under his command, and the tools specifically designed to ensure that you behave yourself on the road. All right, so it's fully up to you. The ball is really in your court, as Mr. Holgate just said. Perfectly fine if they issue these devices and them don't end up issuing any ticket, because everybody appreciates that. You know what? The safer we drive, the better it is. 400 people a year needlessly for speeding and all kind of craziness on the road. It's unnecessary. Why are we killing ourselves? Don't make any sense. So, new dispensation, but guess what? If your approach to driving remains the same, in the sense that, you know what, we're just going to drive safely, look out for each other on the road, make sure that we take, you know what I mean? We drive within the speed limit, we wear our seat belt, we obey the different signs and so on, and we just do what we're supposed to do. Hey, we can only be advantageous. I mean, the fact, but it just goes to show that the government is making this level of investment just goes to show that, hey, we're not allowing certain things to continue. That's all we need to know. And that's the fundamental message here, no. That's the fundamental message. Yeah. You behave yourself, ACB McKenzie can have an easy day. But if you decide to go hard, I'm sure you have no problem.
No, not at all.
No problem at all exercising his duties to the fullest extent of his capacity. All right, people. So there you have it. We're just wrapping up our talk on the new digitized traffic ticketing system. It's just part of a whole suite geared to ensure that we police our roads and make our roads safer, essentially, at the end of the day. All right. If you need more information, you can jump on the Ministry of National Security's website. That's mns.gov.jm. You can give them a call at 876-906-4908. Get all information you need. You can also jump on the JIS website. We have lots of stories talking about the new initiative and all these things. So you can get more information. And expect to see when the police, if you have the misfortune of being pulled over, you're going to get like a printed ticket. And that's going to give you all the information you need. And as Mr. Holgate said, you can pay at the same time. You don't have to wait or go take the day and go join the tax office and so on. And we hope you don't get none. But if you do, you know what I mean? Simpler, easier, more efficient all around. And this is where we're going with our national security infrastructure. All right, so kudos to you. Keep up the good work. See if we can bring in more technology, more things to make things easier for the people. Because I think at the end of the day, that's what we want. We're going to the first world standards and that kind of thing. All right? But it's time for us to wrap. Thank you to everyone who tuned into our discussion, especially those of you from all over the world. We had somebody joining from Tanzania earlier. I never even believed that. But great. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? If you have a question and we didn't answer it in our discussion, not to worry. Just drop it in the comments. We'll go through afterwards. And if necessary, we can respond to you and give you the information that you need. All right? Now, remember, our audience plays a major part in our show. So if there's anyone in particular you'd like us to have in studio, let us know. We'll try to have that person in studio as soon as possible. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all over the socials. That's where only there, so we have to do that too. Just follow us, get all the information you need. All right, we do this every week live on Facebook, Instagram, and soon to come in other places. But I'm your host, Vaughn Davis, and this has been Studio 58A. Thank you so much for joining us, and please have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.